How about now? How about now? It looks like it for some reason it just wasn't pulling my mic. Y'all got me now? We good? We good? Are we good?
You're good.
Okay, tight. Looks like we are good. For some reason it just wasn't pulling my mic. Having a lot of technical difficulties today, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. But no, what I was saying is we were trying to update my output settings so that it's easier to read along, because James was noticing that apparently the book looks kind of blurry on y'all's end. But I think that's what made it to where I had to restart the stream. For some reason it was just like, nope, no stream. Do it again. So here we are. We're doing it again. We're doing it live. I'll tell you what, it's difficult to read with these bad boys on. Y'all get to see my eyeballs. I just was trying to be a little silly right there. But yeah, let me go ahead and catch up with the chat real quick. I don't know if any of y'all said anything, but I'm going to say hello. At the very least. Let's see. Aussie Dragon, Andrew Cazzini, Zachary Moore, Jake Johnson, Big Booty White Girl. Hey, how y'all doing? Let's see. I have a bad feeling in my gut about this stream. Nah, this stream's gonna be alright. It looks like Maddie was in fact the one caught in the speed trap this time. R.I.P. What's this speed trap thing we're reading? So it's it's another one of those Justice League animated series tie-in novels that wasn't written like, or at least wasn't like an episode or anything. It's just like, hey, this is an extra Justice League animated series story. This one is written by Brian Augustyn, the fellow who wrote Gotham by Gaslight, based off of a script by, or not a script, but like a story outline by Rich Fogel and one of the other Justice League writers who went on to be part of the CW stuff and is apparently a sex pest. So you know how it do. Let's see. I wonder how long the city it's going to ramble on for until he realizes his mic's not on. Your mic's not on. My mic was on. It just wasn't pulling it for some reason. But yeah, Flash has gotten shot by a gun that has not only removed his speed, but I don't think he's able to move at all. Let's see. Okay. Yep, looks like that's where y'all are talking about the mic being cut out. Okay, and we're all good. Nice shirt. Thank you. I wasn't able to fit it for a long while, and now I'm kind of able to. Though I've gained 6 pounds back because I've been being kind of lazy. But you know, in comparison to where I was at the start of last year, 6 pounds isn't much. Oh, hey Jay, how's it going? I didn't see you slide in here. But yes, give beef to the babies. Anyway, I'ma hop over to... Boom. I got another one of those give your babies beef ads earlier, and it was strange. But we're on chapter 3 today. Right now, what we know is like some guy pulled in a bunch of Flash villains and was just like, hey, I have a plan to like destroy the Flash. And nobody was really on board except for Weather Wizard. And Weather Wizard shot him with the thing, and now Flash can't move, and he's stuck in like the Watchtower ICU. Yes, hit the like button. Absolutely. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start reading chapter 3. I'm gonna try to get through as many chapters as I can today, but I've got a pretty busy schedule ahead of me. So you know, only gonna stick to the hour or so that we normally do, because I got college work to do. All right. The huge spotlights shot their glaring beams skyward in sweeping arcs above the massive blocky building of the maximum security facility. Stonegate Prison had a well-deserved reputation for being inescapable. No one got out, and no one got in, unless they belonged there. Stripped of his gaudy green work clothes and his wand, the Weather Wizard was not at all impressive. A sturdy, brooding man with close-cropped dark hair, Mark Martin huddled disconsolately on the hard bench in his cell. The rumpled orange prison issue jumpsuit was hardly the garb of a master villain, he thought with disgust. As always, indignity dogged him. Maybe it was time to rethink his chosen occupation. But thievery was the only work he'd ever known. From the days of his misspent youth, Marden had followed the crooked road. Even before coming into his weather-controlling power, he had made a name for himself as a jewel thief. In fact, it was while running from the law that Marden had made the discovery that changed his life. Or rather, his brother had made the discovery. Unlike his younger sibling, Dr. Matthew Marden had made better than good. A research scientist with a specialty in particle physics, Matthew had applied his efforts to research and discovery. The day Mark sought out his big brother for help, hiding from the authorities, Matthew had refused him outright. He and the rest of the Marden family had long ago given up on their black sheep. Matthew had been distracted, though, anxious to get back to work on some project. Appealing to his brother's vanity and stalling for time, Mark had asked him what he was working on. Mark knew that Matt couldn't resist a bit of showing off. The object Mark had soon come to think of as his weather wand was in a stand on the main work table. Matt held it up and explained it to Mark, firing specifically charged particles into the air. The wand could affect the atmosphere on a localized basis, causing weather phenomena in small, controlled bursts. With a wave of the wand, fluffy flakes of snow fell impossibly out of nowhere to drift onto Mark's shoulders. He was amazed. What the heck was this thing, and how could he use it to his own profit? Matthew Marden had developed the wand as a miniature prototype of a large device he hoped to construct. That device would be able to control the climate of entire cities, Matt gushed. Once he figured out how to enlarge the prototype, the sky was the limit. Let's see. The main villain's gonna be a beef salesman calling it. Oh no. Binged a lot of. Oh, okay. Y'all are talking to Jay. Got it. Damn, guess what, dude? Hide user from channel. That was easy. I'm not dealing with any of that anymore. Okay. Justice League brought to you by Fluffy Flakes. Not the case in the Arrowverse, both were Weather Wizard at some point. I assume you're talking about both Matt and Mark Marden. Let's see. I'm gonna have to double check this backstory and see if it oh, what happened? And see if it matches up with what we know from Speed Demons. It could be a boon to agriculture. It might be the end of hunger. It had the potential to change the world's economy. So far, however, Matthew Marden hadn't found a way to make the device work on a larger scale. In the meantime, the wand was an interesting, if limited, model. Mark Marden had listened without really hearing. From his point of view, the wand was far from limited. He was already envisioning many uses for it, most of them illegal, immoral, and profitable. His brother had rambled on about the scientific principles, but Mark had long since tuned him out. So total was his focus on this new prize. Besides, science wasn't his thing. The wand might as well have been magic. All Mark cared about was that the wand was the answer to a small timer's prayers, and he had to have it. Mark stopped pretending to be interested in his brother's lecture and waved him brusquely to silence. He demanded the wand. Matt instinctively understood that his nefarious brother had nothing but criminal designs on his weather technology. He refused, but Mark had already grabbed the wand and pointed it at the air above his scientist brother's head. Later, he told himself that he hadn't really meant to harm Matt. The fact remained, however, that Mark had turned the wand against Matt and left him for dead. If it hadn't been for the timely interference of some rotten superheroes, Mark reflected, Matt would have died. The wand was his, though, and from that moment on, Mark Marden became the masked menace known as the Weather Wizard. To no one's surprise, bank managers and jewelry store owners cooperated very quickly when confronted with indoor lightning storms. The Weather Wizard became all Mark Marden had ever dreamed of being. He was a celebrity criminal. He was rich and feared. He was a supervillain. Unfortunately, as Martin had already discovered, supervillains draw the attention of superheroes, and his own bad luck soon placed the Flash and other Justice Leaguers regularly on his rain-soaked trail. Superpowers trump even miniature hurricanes every time. The day Flash and the others had entered the Weather Wizard's life, the climate had grown steadily gloomier for Mark Martin. Sitting in his cell, Martin kept going over and over his latest failure. The voice at the theater had promised him great things. Their deal was supposed to reverse all his Flash-centric bad luck. It was supposed to put him back on top. It was supposed to finish off the fast-footed creep for good. But the gun had backfired, or fizzled, or whatever. It had failed, and once again Martin was left wearing garish orange and looking at the world he was meant to conquer through a narrow slit in solid concrete. "Nuts," said the hapless crook. Suddenly, the dim grayness of Martin's surroundings took on a brighter, greener cast. He looked up in amazement to see an emerald grow spreading in an oval pattern on the outer wall of his cell. Then the jade light seemed to take on a three-dimensional shape, like a bubble, which began swelling as if passing through the blank concrete wall. This had to be bad, Martin thought. Two figures began to appear within the growing emerald capsule, as if stepping phantom-like through the solid wall. Martin shut his eyes and shook his head. This had to be a hallucination. Even with his rotten luck, he refused to believe in ghosts. As the figures grew more solid, Martin found himself wishing he did believe in haunts. That would have been preferable to facing Batman and Green Lantern while he was unarmed and incarcerated. Green Lantern's emerald ring power faded once it had transported the two fierce-looking heroes into Martin's startled presence. "Hey, you guys can't be in here without my lawyer being present," complained Martin. Let's see. No time for science, gotta rob. Exactly. Who else wants a Weather Wizard DC multiverse figure from McFarlane? That could be cool. They're metahumans in that version, so pretty different from the DC. Gotcha. Wait, when did what two meet? I'm just gonna real quick. Let's see, because it looks like there's not any page breaks like usual. Stonegate Prison. Where was? Oh geez, where the hell did my page go? The dim grayness. Hey, you guys can't be here without my lawyer. That was just the end of the page. Why is it not the end of the page anymore? That's weird. Okay. Kindle is strange. So we've got Stonegate Prison real quick as a location. And as far as the non-canon, double check Weather Wizard's backstory with speed demons. Oh, Green Lantern and Batman? I don't know. Probably sometime in between New Batman Adventures and Justice League, I would imagine. That seems to be when Green Lantern showed back up. Let's see.
That might be true, said Green Lantern, if we were here about you. Tell us who gave you the weapons you used on the Metacon job, Martin,
The Dark Knight commanded.
especially the gun you shot at Flash.
Added Green Lantern. Martin looked very confused. Why did they care about that harmless piece of junk? He thought about trying to play it cool and tough, of stalling until he could figure the angle. But one look at the dark intensity of Batman's glowering stare dissolved all Martin's courage. Martin's throat went suddenly dry. I don't know who he was. He never showed himself. He didn't give his name. I swear, I have no idea who he was.
We're supposed to believe this total stranger decided to give you a high-tech weapons out of the goodness of his heart?
Asked Green Lantern. From the sound of his voice, I don't know that he has a heart, Lantern, said Martin. All I know is he promised me that stuff in exchange for shooting the speedster with that pop gun.
And you don't know how the pistol works,
added Batman as he hovered menacingly over the cowering prisoner. It doesn't work. Ask your Justice League buddies. It gave off a harmless flash of light and then nothing, Martin complained. Green Lantern and Batman looked meaningfully at one another. Martin watched and wondered, an idea growing in his devious criminal mind. Had the gun had a delayed effect? Had Flash dropped dead later on? Had he, Martin, become the man who brought down a superhero? Martin smiled slightly to himself as he calculated the prestige this would bring him among the others of his ilk. He was the guy who had done in the Flash. Things were going to be different. What's this all about? Is Flash dead? Martin asked with barely concealed excitement.
No,
said Batman.
And you'd better pray it doesn't come to that. You don't want to see me that angry.
No, stammered Martin. I guess I don't. But he was talking to an empty cell. The heroes were gone. Martin looked out in the narrow window at the night sky and wondered what was going on. He shuddered at the idea of finding out from Batman. Better to survive in ignorance than to face the merciless that merciless guy ever again. As he slumped onto the bench, Martin's thoughts turned to the Flash. Far from wishing him ill, Martin knew that his own continued health might depend on the speedsters. Long may the Flash run, Martin said, toasting the air with an empty hand. Long may he run. Okay, so I guess there's a page break. I should have looked forward a little bit. Oh well. Let's see. GL and Batman have the same voice. No, they don't. What's your opinion on Teen Titans 2003? I love it. It's a good show. I grew up on the first couple seasons. Rewatched those and the rest of the show like last year. It holds up. It's really good. And before he learns that it crippled the Flash. What is yours and James and Ted's favorite Bat family member? And yours, Mattel. I can't speak for James and Ted, but I like Nightwing a bit. Flash being unable to move is like Batman being unable to think logically. The writing in this book is 100 times better than the writing in Golden Opportunity. Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, so Michael Teitelbaum, who wrote Golden Opportunity, basically writes children's books, whereas Brian Augustyn, like I said, is responsible for Gotham by Gaslight. So it's, there's a step up in quality. Okay, we're almost done with Chapter 3. Flash moved swiftly through the city at sunset. The sky was a glorious golden orange, and the tall steel and glass buildings were gilded in reflected color. Wait a second, I thought he was in the ICU. The city was bustling, people hurrying on their way as auto traffic swept through the streets in a smooth, swift flow. Amidst this symphony of motion, Flash, of course, set the tempo. He raced in joy, the warm evening breeze washing over him like a welcoming stream. Speed was his means of expression, his vocabulary, and everything he ever wanted to say. As always, it was glorious. Until the speedster was suddenly jolted violently from his smooth forward momentum. Flash stumbled and skidded clumsily. Losing his balance, he flailed his arms. Something was holding him back. Flash looked down at his legs with horror. A giant human hand had somehow formed from the tarry black surface of the roadway. Impossibly, that asphalt appendage clung tightly to his ankle, pulling him back and down. Flash grunted in surprise and disgust, struggling to surge forward out of the thing's grasp. The hand held tightly, and try as he might, Flash could not break free. As he looked down and back, another hand was molding itself from the pavement, stretching out to grab his other leg. Flash called out in alarm, but the passing citizens could not or would not hear him. Oh, he's probably dreaming. Now 3 more huge hands morphed from the shiny black pavement, attached to arms, elongating to reach and clutch at the speedster's scarlet uniform. Unable to move, Flash felt helpless, lost. He was pulled backward and fell to the pavement, even as rushing traffic swept by without noticing. Monstrous black hands clawed at Flash's throat, his limbs, his entire body, drawing him ever downward. All the hero could think of was that he needed to run, to get away. That was his only hope. That hope died screaming. Flash was held tightly, pulled powerfully down and down until he saw with wild revulsion that the street had become a bubbling, rippling, liquid mass. The Flash was being swallowed into the sticky fluid, and there was nothing he could do about it. He opened his mouth to scream, only to let jets of black goo rush in to fill his throat. Choking, Flash found himself at last below the surface. He was drowning in the middle of his city, and he couldn't run. He couldn't escape. He couldn't even move. Completely engulfed in the thick, grasping darkness, Flash fell forever. Bum, bum, bum. It kind of reminds me of that scene with Ink and Terry where she's like shoving herself down his throat. I want to see this book animated. Like, already I'm enjoying it a lot. What's up, guys? I'm hello from Trinidad. Well, hello back to Trinidad. 03 Titans is great. The Terra arc in season 2 overall is my favorite. Yeah, the Terra stuff is fan-fucking-tastic. The season 1 Flash episode in Justice League also had a weird nightmare dream sequence. True, they do be doing dream sequences with him a lot. What was it? Brave and the Bold, I think? Is this a recurring thing? The Flash being stuck in bad dreams? Is this his version of Clayface? Hello back to you, Matthew Allen. Let's see. So nothing really to grab from that in chapter. How long is chapter 4? Okay, we can totally get through chapter 4 before I have to dip. All right, let's go. Flash woke up in a bed in the infirmary of the Justice League Watchtower. Squinting against the glaring light, the speedster looked down at his bandaged, pain-racked body. He groaned more in frustration than suffering. The accident hadn't been a nightmare after all. Though he'd been unconscious most of the time, Flash fully understood what had happened to him. In fact, he could feel the constricting hold of the energy that crawled like an unstoppable invading army through his cells. He sat up, wincing as his energies made themselves known. Despite the strange power inhibiting his physical movement, his metabolism still functioned at its normal accelerated rate. Flash's body was already nearly healed, but his spirit remained downcast. He limped to the large viewport in the outer bulkhead wall of the infirmary. From this vantage, the Earth was a blue gem against the velvet black of space. Flash stared glumly down on his home planet. He held up his hand as if cradling the tiny globe in his fingers. There was a time when the world had been no bigger than this to him. When there hadn't been one corner of the entire planet he couldn't race to in mere moments. Those days were long over now. Flash turned from the view unmoved. Consumed by his own great loss, Flash wasn't in the mood to notice anything, including the strikingly beautiful visitor at the infirmary door. "You're finally awake. Good," said Wonder Woman. "We've been worried for days." Flash looked up to see the powerful Amazon princess smiling at him with interest. Her strong, shapely, red, gold, and blue-clad form would normally have elicited some leering remark from the Flash, but neither his heart nor his head was in it. He just couldn't bring himself to flirt, not even with such a regal beauty. If you're going to forego clumsy attempts at flirtation, I am worried," Wonder Woman smiled with gentle amusement. "If you'll take a rain check, Diana, I can try to get back to you." He gave her a small, pained smile. Flash turned away and limped slowly back to bed. The low set of his shoulders spoke loudly of his mood. Wonder Woman watched him with sympathy, wishing there was something she could do or say to help her friend. "Running fast is what I do. It's what makes me a Justice Leaguer," said Flash quietly. "It's not who you are, though," said the Amazon princess. "It's not what makes you a hero." Flash could only stare at her. It was hard to know what to say. He wanted to believe her, but he couldn't. "Your power is simply how you help people. The desire and drive to do so come from within, said Wonder Woman. You take great pains to keep anyone from seeing how much you care. Oh, shit, that's not Flash. That's Wonder Woman. You take great pains to keep anyone from seeing how much you care, Flash. But you don't fool me. I know you have a hero's heart. Flash grimaced. A lot of good it'll do me if I can't move fast enough to get the job done. If your speed is gone, that's tragic. But it's not the end of the world. You'll find other ways to do what's needed. Wonder Woman placed a comforting hand on Flash's slumped shoulder. Yeah, I have so many other talents, mumbled the Flash. Don't be so down on yourself, chided Wonder Woman. You'll always have a place with the Justice League. Right, said Flash. I can always be the team mascot. Maybe we can get you a new costume with a big cartoon head. Despite his mood, the Flash had to smile, both at the image and at the fact that the usually serious Wonder Woman had made the joke. Maybe he was taking all of this too seriously. As Wonder Woman had said, even if his power was gone forever, it wasn't the end of the world. He could still... No, it was the end of the world for him. Who'd want a slow-moving superhero? His career as the Flash was over. It was massive denial to pretend otherwise. He had to tough it out and be realistic, however grim reality was. But not right then. It was important to Diana that he stay optimistic. For her and his other friends, Wally resolved to put on his brave face. As of this moment, said Flash, everyone has to stop feeling sorry for me. Especially me. It's a deal, said Wonder Woman. Okay. We haven't had Wonder Woman in this book yet, have we? Let's see. The Flash, Hawk Girl, Green Lantern, Superman, Batman. Yep, so this is the first instance of Wonder Woman being here. And let me copy this, and boom, and chapter 4. And let's see. As far as time goes, a few days have passed since Flash's accident. Let me hop into chat real quick, what y'all got going on. That line reminds me of a line in Batman Forever. I fell forever. True. Reminder that the alternative title is Flash Gets Crippled. Oh no. So this entire book is Flash getting depressed and owned. It might be. Stop being horny, Flash. I was thinking the same fucking thing. Like, I know that, like, Flash kind of flirts with Wonder Woman in Secret Origins, but I don't remember it going anything past that. So it's interesting to see it be like, usually Flash would treat her as a sexual object, and then Wonder Woman be like, hey, why aren't you treating me as a sexual object, Flash? Are you really that sad? Like, it's a bit much. Let's see. Is he going to become a Batman level guy to villains? Are you talking about, like, is the Flash going to start doing stuff like Batman does? I doubt it. I mean, he does work for the police in The Brave and the Bold, so he'd be a hero of sorts either way. No comment. I thought the point of this book was that the Flash was taking things unseriously, and that was a bad thing. But now I'm taking it too seriously. These days were probably Flash's worst days in his entire damn life. Well, you know, if Barry Allen died, like Secret Origins suggests that he did, that one might have been rough too. All right, let's keep on trucking. The Martian Manhunter moved swiftly towards the communication console in the League's meeting room. The flashing alert signal indicated an incoming distress call. You've reached the Justice League Watchtower, said the Manhunter in his sonorous tone. Sonorous? Damn, they're pulling out like a ton of vocabulary words. What do we got? Sonorous. Capable of producing a deep or ringing sound. Okay, I'll take it.
John Jones here.
Suddenly, the screen filled with electronic snow. Loudly hissing static blasted from the speakers. Jean stepped back in surprise. Then, amid the crackling disturbance, there appeared to the face of what seemed to be a great ape. Oh shit! Was it fucking Grodd? Is Grodd the fucking villain? Oh my god, hell yes. And he was speaking. This alarming image did not surprise the stoic manhunter. However, he recognized Solivar, leader of a race of super advanced intelligent apes. Deep within the jungles of Central Africa, the apes lived in quiet harmony with the confines of their futuristic citadel. The very few outsiders who knew of this place had dubbed it Gorilla City, a haven for scientific research and philosophical contemplation. The citizens of Gorilla City were peaceful and cooperative, most of them.
Thank goodness I have reached you! It is Grodd!
Crackled the distorted voice from the communicator.
He has escaped!
Without really thinking, Jean thumbed a toggle switch on the console. A silent alert went out, summoning the leaders on board to the meeting room. The broadcast image of the wise gorilla leader flickered on screen, seeming to struggle against a storm of interference. Static ebbed and surged, drowning out whatever Solivar said next.
Emptying to usurp control! Gorilla City!
The ape leader's message barely came through. John's dark eyes widened. Grodd was the lone malevolent gorilla of his incredible race, a scheming renegade every bit as advanced as his fellows. Super science was the ape's weapon in his ongoing quest for world domination. As Grodd considered himself the smartest creature on Earth, he saw no reason why he should not be made unquestioned leader over all of creation. The huge and hairy rogue reserved his greatest enmity for humanity. The Justice League had clashed several times with this malicious primate. Their victories had never been easy.
What is it, Sean?
Said Superman as he moved swiftly into the room. Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Wonder Woman, and Batman followed, all looking at the communicator's screen. Flash entered last, limping painfully.
A distress call from Solivar of Gorilla City,
said the Martian hero.
It appears that Gorilla Grodd is once again on the loose.
On the screen, the distorted image cleared again momentarily. Solivar, looking more concerned, implored the Leaguers.
Is intent on taking over the Citadel! Need the Justice League's immediate assistance!
The assembled heroes looked with grave concern at the screen. Even as Solivar's visage was replaced by flashing, roaring static, the connection had been severed. He did not reappear. There was no conversation. The Leaguers all knew what had to be done.
We'll leave immediately,
said Superman simply. Can I catch a ride with one of you? Asked Flash.
You can't go on this one, Flash. You're still healing,
said Green Lantern.
Yes,
said Batman.
Stay and recuperate. We'll handle this.
It wouldn't be easy without you, of course, Superman added, but we'll do the best we can. Flash's answering smile did not reach his eyes. He recognized that this was his new lot in life. He was now the guy they protected, the guy they patronized. Okay then, he said, send me a postcard. All right, so real quick, we've got Solivar. We've got Gorilla Grodd. We've got Africa and Gorilla City. So while I was reading that, I just realized that like the way that Gorilla City is set up to be like a scientifically advanced like city that's like hidden under like a cloaking technology in Africa. It very much like reading that struck me as like a Wakanda analogy, and I hope that that's not intentional. Like I hope it was just like a thing where it was just like just parallel thinking and not like, hey, how do we make our own Wakanda? I know, let's turn everyone into apes, cause man, that would be fucking rough. But now I really want to look into the history of the two. Let's see. In-show events. Justice League has been to Gorilla City, which we see in Brave and the Bold, if I remember correctly. Gorilla City, DCAU. Right? I know Brave and the Bold. Yes. Okay. Tight. And Grodd. It says they've encountered him multiple times. So this might be after Secret Society. The League has encountered Grodd multiple times after Secret Society, maybe? There we go. There's that. Let me get back through. Oh, damn. A lot of users to hide, ain't there? Let's see. Where were we? But Wally's a good cop, surely. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for being fictional. This book has complex words for kids, right? It's a vocabulary builder. Gorilla Grodd is a beef salesman. I got another one of those ads this morning, and I wanted to screen grab it, but like, I guess YouTube doesn't let you rewind ads. So by the time like it got to the like give the beef to your children, give the beef to your babies part, it was a little too late, because I was like in the middle of doing dishes and stuff. He was killed at the end of JLU. Yeah. Let's see. I find that hard to believe that he was the only evil or mean ape in Ape City. No, he's the only one. No other mean apes. No other evil apes. All monkeys good. So it can't take place during season 3 of JLU, and no extra leaguers. I think it is before Starcross. Yeah, I mean, I would say that it's this book was made and released in tandem with the Justice League show. So it's very, very much before Starcrossed, at least in its intent. So is Flash coming down, or is Flash just gonna stay in the Watchtower all day? I guess we'll see. Let's see. Damn, people just really want to do this weird drama thing on our channel with people that like it ain't got nothing to do with us. I've gotten to the point where I'm just hiding them altogether. Fuck them. You know, I'm not being railroaded by someone else just doing nonsense. Flash dropped heavily into the chair at the communication console. He pressed a control and leaned back. On the screen, the image of the departing Justice Leaguers was replaced by a picture of a row of athletic young women in track uniforms. They stood on a carefully lined track, waiting to begin a race. People running. Perfect, moaned Flash. Maybe the sports channel isn't the way to go. Wally's thumb hit the button on the remote. The screen began flipping past image after image. Wally paused on an old black and white television program. A comically wild-eyed comedian in khakis and a pith helmet was flailing and shouting as he sank past his waist in fake quicksand. The cheap plastic jungle behind him shook faintly from his exertions. Canned laughter roared. "What's so funny about that?" said Flash with a sour expression. He pushed the remote again. Am I the only one hoping for a Will It Canon episode about Crypto the Superdog? It'll definitely happen at some point. I think let me see how far does chapter 5 go. I might be able to squeeze this in. I don't know. But actually, instead of doing chapter 5, I might look at that Gorilla City Wakanda stuff. But yeah, so all of our Will It Canon stuff is tied, not DCAU, just regular DC, is tied to our storyline for the time being. And so because we've got like a very specific place where we want to go to with the story, and we've got like, I think 3 videos left to get there, slotting anything else in between is a difficult task to not disrupt things. We figured out putting maybe 1 extra thing in, but otherwise stuff's just got to wait until we're able to get together and film, and it's been difficult because of the pandemic. But Ted has gotten his first vaccination, and James, I believe, said he's either getting his today or just signed up to get his. I don't remember what it is. And as of today, I can sign up to get an appointment for vaccination as well. So hopefully things with that will start being full speed ahead again soon. But yeah, I've got the DVD release of like the first 5 episodes of Crypto, and I've been meaning to go through it. I do know, interestingly enough, while I was ripping bonus features off of it, their unaired pilot short that was on it uses the Superman the Animated Series theme music. And when we were talking to Rich Fogel for an interview that should be up sometime soon, he was saying that he would count Crypto about the same as he would count Zeta. And so now it's just like, oh no, do we take that to mean that like Crypto does count, or do we take that to mean that Zeta doesn't count? But the tie-in comics and everything do use the DCAU style. And recently, I'll have to drop the link at some point to, hold on. I'll have to drop the link to the Rare Comics thread that we've got going on. But recently I came across, was it this one? No, not with the JLA, it was with Superman. Here we go. So there's this comic that was a one-off with the Con Edison Power Company. They've done a couple of these actually, but like it's not in a series. They're just all one-offs. That this uses the DCAU like style for just about everything. And God, this is the best I've ever seen the Superman the Animated Series characters look in print. Like, it's just fucking nuts how nice and clean they look. But halfway through, like the second story, we still get DCAU Superman, but Supergirl looks different, Black Canary looks different, Steel looks different, Flash is still DCAU. But then after that, that version of Supergirl comes back in another story with Crypto, and I'm not sure if you can see the logo up top there, but that is the TV show Crypto the Superdog logo. So, you know, there's some coincidental stuff going on. Let's see. Is the entire thing just going to be Flash watching TV while crying? I imagine he's gonna get amped up in a while. Huh? What story? Oh, did you not know that a storyline running through the channel for years now, but we haven't been able to really do anything with it for the past year. But the majority of our timeline videos and Will It Canon videos are all part of an interlocked story. Where is it? Playlists. Where is it? Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, okay. So everything in this playlist is quarantine story catch-up playlist. Should kind of get you up to speed with where things are at. See, I watched some Crypto in my day. I would think it could be, other than the conflicting versions of Ace, could be a different dog though. The Superman design is quite similar. Yeah, so like my main misgiving with Crypto right now, I haven't watched a lot of it, but No, not Kryptonite. Crypto, the super dog. The Lex Luthor from that show looks like this, like a kind of a rejected Proud Family and or like Doug design. So I'm not too sure about about it. You know, it's supposed to be the same because he's a bit off base, but we'll see. DC, we have some of the most iconic characters ever. People love them. WB, hold my beer. The Lex Luthor and Crypto. Yeah, okay. So there we go. Zeta is more canon. Surely Crypto doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say that Zeta is like for sure canon. But like just the comparison that was made was pretty interesting. So you thought Crypto was just another. I mean, I'm leaning towards Crypto being separate as well. But there's only one way to know for sure. Oh, I was frozen? Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure DCAU Supergirl has a cat named Streaky, and in Crypto, Streaky is just the neighbor girl's cat. Yeah, I mean, like, there can be different animals named the same thing, but it is highly coincidental. Let's see. But yeah, really quick, I did want to see about this Gorilla City stuff. First appearance was the Flash 106 in May 1959, and Wakanda. Okay, Wakanda showed up 7 years later, so it's not like DC was grabbing Gorilla City from them. So that's good to know, because I was when I was reading that and like made the comparison in my head, I was just like, oh no, please don't tell me that they did this intentionally. But that's good to know. All right, well, with that being said, we've reached about an hour. We've gotten through 2 chapters. I've got some college work to take care of. I'm working on my last class before I finally get my degree. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pop off, go eat some lunch, and then take care. Have a good day. I will be back next week for sure for the next couple chapters, and I should be back on Saturday to stream. I missed last week just on account of I ended up meeting up with somebody, and it ran later than usual, and by the time they were gone, it was like 7:30 or something. It was just like later than usual for stream. I was like, all right, well, so be it. Also, if Crypto is canon, then that would mean Bruce doesn't get the name for Ace from Ace of the Royal Flush Gang, unless he named that Ace after she died. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, all right, y'all, take it easy. I will see you later. Peace out.